Hello everyone, it's Sunday afternoon, about maybe 4:30 or so. I think that's February 4th, something like that, I don't even know. But anyhow, they said it couldn't be done, but almost, with one exception, the last two posts right there, all of the 4x4 posts are now in the ground. They are cross braced. They are braced every two posts with a 30-inch spacer that you can see. And I now know what it could be like to be a bit player in the straw pits scenes in the Ten Commandments, because as you see down in the middle of that picture, it is called muck. And it was a delight to work in there. Luckily I had my knee-high rubber boots, so it didn't really bother me, but boy, you really get stuck in that stuff. But the bottom line is that everything lines up really nicely. I did notice that, and it's a common thing, the 4x4 posts, although you think you have them level when you get to the very top, and they absolutely are plumb, not level, they are plumb, but when you get to the top, some of them have a slight twist or a curve. There's nothing that you can do to get rid of that short of replacing it. But I'll show you how they line up, and you can kind of judge for yourself. They line up relatively well, give or take a quarter of an inch or so. I have a couple that I have to pull in just a little bit, and they'll line up quite nicely. And again, looking at them this way, and I'll go to this side, well, I don't know if you can see it, you can see how they all disappear right behind each other, and that's a good sign that they're all in line. I just simply followed the orange line, half of which broke since I lost my balance and promptly fell on it. There was no real difficulties. That muck down there is really, I thought I'd get a lot more splashes than I did, but once the 4x4 collars of the Oz posts, that aluminum 34-inch post that anchors all of the posts down into the ground, once that is in the ground, it doesn't really splash at all. The only problem was when you get down to a certain point, every now and then they would hit a root and they would want to twist the little 4x4 collar on the top. And I had to take one. It took me about 45 minutes just working on one stupid thing. I got it as good as I could, but the roots down there are, you know, below a foot below the ground, and I just can't work with it. So you'll never really notice that when I get everything done. The cross beams are there. They're still not cut yet flush with the 4x4 posts. I don't know if you can see them, but I'll zoom in if I can get this thing to work. There you go. You can see them sitting proud of the joists, but those will be cut trim, and you'll never ever see them because the deck boards are going to go on top. Each brace is a 2x4. In the first, it's going to be 3 sections, 1, 2, 3, and then the last 3 sections will be 1x4s, but that's a lot less stress on those. The higher middle section requires the 4x4 posts, as you can see, and that's all new wood, that's treated wood, of course. But the posts went in really well. I just found an easy way to do it rather than trying to drop a plumb bob and all that stuff, which probably is appropriate. I just simply took a shorter piece that would reach the orange line, shorter piece of 4x4, put it in the collar, and then trial and error. Stuck the point of the 4x4 collar, the 30-inch ground spike, into the ground, where I thought was pretty close to right underneath the mark that I put on the line, the orange line, and I went from there, and it took a tenth of the time, and I could actually see, rather before I started pounding the 4x4 posts into the Oz posts and into the ground, and then had to pull them out, which is a delight. It worked pretty well. So bottom line is, it only took the better part of 3-day sessions to go it's actually 62 feet from the very end where you can see that orange line all the way down, traversing and up to here. And it's about, like I said, at least 10 inches higher, maybe even more, than the prior bridge. So there you go, folks. We're getting there. As you notice, there is one joist that's missing right. If I can get it to zoom in. Probably got dirt on my fingers. See, you can see that joist missing right there. What happened was, when I went down to put the 4x4 post in, there are those cypress knees that are there, and I could not find any place that was not full of roots, and I just got tired of trying to dig them up in that muck. So I just moved the post back. I will cut it trim, actually below the height of the deck, and then I will add an appropriate spaced 4x4 railing post at the right position. So it'll give you the best of both worlds. It'll look nice and even, and it'll be extremely strong. So that's it. I am exhausted. It was a beautiful day here. I think they might get some rain this coming week, maybe for a day. Hopefully that muck will dry up a little bit, but I'm not really concerned. I've worked in it before. I only have one post that I have to actually not redo, but just reset. So that's it, folks. This is number 3 of the reconstruction of Charlie Creek's Bridge, and so far so good. When I get the deck boards on, it'll look absolutely brand new. Take care. Bye.